Well, anxiety is growing among parents who fear that the teachers' job action could escalate into a full-blown strike. Dana Hutchings is here now with more on that in tonight's Checkpoint.
Jim, no matter what side of the debate you're on, working parents are now faced with the question, what happens to their kids if school isn't on in the coming days? Sky Ryan has that part of our coverage.
At work at Sam's Sushi in Parksville, Shigusa Harrod has a lot on her mind.
Both parties should consider how it's affecting to the parents and the kids as well.
The mom of two is one of thousands of working island parents wondering what they will do with their kids if teachers walk out.
Oh, if both parents are full-time workers, what they're gonna do? Nothing to, there's no solution for them. One of them must, take the day off.
And her restaurant really can't afford to lose her.
I do need her. She's one of our very good staff. And she's here every day, all day.
So she's pulled out of the mix.
Exactly. It would be very challenging.
So community parks programs across the island are now in the process of making contingency plans to help parents through this.
Depending on what comes of the strike vote. Right now we are talking about it, but with not knowing what's happening, we're just waiting to see what happens, like every other parent out there.
How quickly can you mobilize?
Fairly quickly. We do need a few days to mobilize staff.
During the last teacher strike, the City of Nanaimo's Parks and Rec offered day camp programs and expect that would happen again.
Yeah, a day camp, 8:30 to 4:30, very similar to the programs we run during the Christmas break, spring break, and summer.
But these Nanaimo parents are hoping it doesn't come to a strike.
It would be nice if they could resolve it. The sooner the better.
As a working mom too, it's difficult to think, oh man, is there really going to be a job action, and trying to pick up the contingency plans for that and stuff, but I also support the teachers.
So parents like Harriet will make the plans they can now.
Pretty sure, yeah.
Just in case the escalated job action.
We want a negotiated contract.
Seen at demonstrations like this one in Nanaimo should lead quickly into a strike.
And tonight's Checkpoint question, would you support teachers if they went out on strike? You can tweet us at @CHEK_news, post on our Facebook page, facebook.com/CHEKnews, or email checkpoint@cheknews.ca.
The provincial government has indicated it could bring in legislation to deal with the teachers' dispute as early as tomorrow. Teachers want the right to launch a province-wide strike. They say they make less than many other teachers across the country. Dana Hutchings is back with more in tonight's Checkpoint.
Jim, while there are slight variations from district to district on the island, the starting wage is about $43,000. The top of scale, about $81,000. But the BCTF says teachers here make less than teachers in other provinces. According to the BCTF, at top of scale, a Victoria teacher with 5 years university earns $15,000 less than their counterparts in Toronto, $20,000 less than teachers in Lethbridge. And it wasn't just wages that brought teachers and supporters out to Beban Park in Nanaimo this afternoon, with signs reading "Our students, your kids," and worth speaking out for. A couple hundred teachers, ferry workers, and members of BCGEU took to the streets to garner support from passers-by. Our Checkpoint question tonight, would you support teachers if they went out on strike? Here's what you had to say.
If their requests were reasonable, I would say I would support them, but if depends on their demands, their total demand, the total package, that would make a big difference.
The wages they are getting right now are not fair, so I'm looking for parity and fairness, and so I do support the strike in that way.
Absolutely, I would support the teachers. I think that the government needs to focus on the fact that education is a high priority and it's not given it a sufficiently high priority.
I would support the teachers. I think they're worth every penny that they earn.
I don't believe in striking, especially something that's necessary. Like teachers are necessary. Like policemen can't go on strike. Firemen can't go on strike. I don't think teachers should either.
I would support the teachers, and the reason I would support the teachers is because our children are the future.
From Facebook, Liz says, so let me understand. The BC government is $3 billion in debt and teachers want a 15% wage increase. Last time I checked, you can't get blood from a stone. From Twitter, Mike says, I fully support our teachers. It may be a temporary inconvenience, but the change they are trying for will benefit our children. And the results of our web poll, 61% said they would support a teacher's strike, while 39% said no, they would not. It will be interesting to see what happens. We expect to see the Education Minister bring down legislation likely tomorrow, and we'll see what the Labor Relations Board decides about teachers escalating their job action. And that's tonight's Checkpoint.